Returning now to our top story, an Indigenous lawyer, academic, and author is calling for action in the wake of the MUN president's claims of Indigenous heritage. For years, Vian Timmins' resume listed her as a member of an unrecognized Mi'kmaq band. She also accepted an Inspire Award given to Indigenous people by the Indigenous community. Pam Palmater says Memorial needs to take a stronger stance, and she spoke with CBC's Ariana Kelland earlier today.
My first thought was really one of frustration. Why is it that we have to drag universities kicking and screaming through the media in order for them to really address our long-standing concerns about pretendians in universities? And as I understand it, this wasn't news to most people in Newfoundland.
I want to ask you, what, if anything, does it change if Vian Timmins says she has found her father's documents, she has a more detailed history now than what she has presented and what we have found? Say she says, you know, my ancestor isn't in the 1600s, it's in the 1800s. Does that make a difference?
No, it doesn't. It's a really racist conception of what it means to be a Mi'kmaq person, because we're a nation. We have citizens, we have political, legal, social, cultural rights and issues within our nation. We are not a race of people that you can measure by blood. And so, not being Mi'kmaq, she is trying to do just that, find one drop of blood somewhere in her ancestry to try to make claim to being a Mi'kmaq person. And there is no line she was walking. She was getting awards for being an Indigenous person. She has been claiming Mi'kmaq, Mi'kmaq, Mi'kmaq on all of her CVs and bios. I mean, it's really just a game of semantics if she seems to think that she's insulated by saying Mi'kmaq ancestry or Mi'kmaq heritage instead of saying Mi'kmaq. I think most people in public understand when you assert a Mi'kmaq ancestry or heritage, you're asserting yourself as Mi'kmaq. I haven't heard her say in the public in any of her speeches or her awards saying, hi, I'm a Mi'kmaq with very remote ancestry, but I'm not Mi'kmaq and I'm not Indigenous. I'm proud of that one ancestor. That she doesn't say that. She doesn't explain it. She allows people to believe she's Mi'kmaq.
If her motivations are to honor this ancestor, what do you think she could have done? What should she have said? Should she have said anything if those were her true motivations?
Well, how can she honor an ancestor she doesn't know and never knew and has zero connection to? She doesn't have a connection to the Mi'kmaq nation. She's not a part of it. How on earth is she going to honor that? And then what about the thousands of other ancestors that she has? Is only one ancestor out of thousands the one that you pick to honor? Or has she gone through all of the graveyards with her father to find and honor all of the other ancestors? No, this is a very targeted and specific search for one ancestor, and it appears very much to lay claim to that identity and try to create this false line that, oh, I'm Mi'kmaq, but I'm not Mi'kmaq.
What do you think the university should do at this point?
Well, the university is not doing great so far. Once they knew that this was going to come out, far before the media said anything, they should have taken immediate action, made a statement to the Mi'kmaq community to say, listen, you know, we, in a time of truth and reconciliation, we care about our relationships with the Mi'kmaq nation. We care about undoing the harms of the past. We take identity appropriation very seriously. And because we have been made aware of those claims, we are going to suspend this president pending an investigation. I mean, I don't know what their governance models are, but in all of the other pretendian cases, you see people suspended and or removed from their jobs until there's an investigation. I don't see anything about an investigation. I don't see anything about any kind of concern for the Mi'kmaq community or the harm it does to Native students, staff, faculty, the irreparable harms it does to the Mi'kmaq nation. It's embarrassing to constantly have to say, no, they're not Mi'kmaq, they're not Mi'kmaq, they're not Mi'kmaq, while they're promoting this kind of Wikipedia version stereotype of what it means to be Indigenous.